But it's such a strong part of the whole ethos at Manchester United, whoever is in charge at the very top, that this is a trophy for Manchester United to seek to win in every single season. They last did it against Nottingham Forest 2021-22. I guess over the last decade or so they've had to wait in line behind Manchester City and Chelsea to a degree, but now reasserting themselves. Villa with a fine tradition of their own, of course, the 4 times winners and 4 other finals appearances for them. So Manchester United from right to left to get us underway. Aston Villa at home tonight in this great stadium, Villa Park, as they were against Plymouth. Plymouth tried to contain Aston Villa. Do you see it differently from Manchester United's point of view?
Absolutely, tonight, Paul. I think they will be a team that will press high. They're athletic, they're physical, and very, very capable when in possession of the ball. So I think it's going to be a really fabulous contest. And you never should underestimate this competition. You're right, the history of it. But I was told very early when I was an apprentice at Queen's Park Rangers that you only get, maybe if you're lucky, 2 goes at this competition. As a young apprentice, and then maybe if you're the under-18 year group, 2 occasions where you can win this prestigious award. In the FA Cup, if you're lucky enough to have a number of years as a career, you might get 8 or 9 or 10 goes at it. But the FA Youth Cup, it is very, very special, and you have to take your chance when it comes.
Sam Proctor is just feeling his way into the occasion tonight. The home goalkeeper. Borland came and got a touch. And here's Leon Ruth.
But Paul, already you can see the white shirts that are pressing high in that Aston Villa half.
Seen out by Jaden Camerson for Manchester United. They know each other pretty well, don't they, this lot? And of course several of these players are playing international football underage and would have experience of training against each other, so there aren't going to be that many secrets in that sense, Clive.
No, I think in this day and age, Paul, we know obviously the scrutiny of the first teams and in the Premier League, but even at this level, everybody knows about everybody and who's doing what at the respective clubs in the 2 divisions of the Premier League youth football.
Emmy's trying to get the other side of Devaney. That is going to be a very important area tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly
is excellent with the ball at his feet.
He is, and he's asked a question, and Devaney stepped right across him immediately. He's the enforcer in front of the 2 centre-halves for Manchester United, but he has conceded the first free kick of the game, which is possibly in range for a strike.
So near side to us, 11, Cole Brannigan.
Wonderful left foot ball, he really has.
Might just shape up for him. William Murdoch is the Manchester United goalkeeper.
Well, Borland, the Villa captain, is there with Brannigan.
Borland straight into the wall. That's bounced invitingly and it's tucked into the net. Van Rally got in there. Troy Van Mully has scored for Aston Villa. It bounced kindly, but he was good enough to see the opportunity, seize upon it and finish coolly. But now look at the emotion.
Well, an incredible start to the game. The free kick was fired into the wall and Mully was the one who reacted the quickest. It is a little bit of good fortune in the way that it ends up at his feet, but as it struck, blocked by the wall, into his path, and he's on it quickly to tuck it under the keeper, Murdoch, who tries to throw himself in front of it. It's a really good finish. Wonderful reaction. Villa in front.
So talk about making your presence felt on your return to the team tonight. Didn't feature against Plymouth, except in a substitutes role. He's proven his point already.
For Villa, the perfect start to this FA Youth Cup semi-final. Just a question now asked of Manchester United, how are they going to respond?
That's a bonus ball really, isn't it, for James Shan? the Villa boss at this level. Chan, of course, has coached at senior first team level. West Bromwich Albion just down the road for 9 months or so back in 2019. Spells at Kidderminster Harriers and Solihull Moors in this part of the country as well. That's a miscue from the goalkeeper, Proctor. Nicely picked up, tidied up by Tyler Fletcher. The Fletcher brothers, of course, play in this side.
Yeah, James's twin brother, it's the 10, will play just behind Chido-Obi, but Tyler will be in that central midfield position with Devaney, the captain.
Ivan Mully has to track back here against Goodwin Kukonki. Kukonki in tonight for Harry Amos. Amos, an 18-year-old who made a Premier League debut as a substitute, actually on his birthday, the 16th of March.
Yeah, a wonderful birthday present for him, a really talented left-back. He was outstanding against Arsenal. Kukongi comes in now in that left-back position for him.
Left centre-back is Danny Armour. And his partner is Reece Munro. So this is a slightly different approach from Aston Villa, isn't it, than we witnessed against Plymouth?
Yeah, you're imagining that you want to work your way into the game, but it was the perfect start. Emmys did brilliantly to win the free kick, and then some good fortune about the way the chance presented itself, but well taken. Aston Villa now have a lead to protect.
Timo Aloba. There's threats throughout this side, though, Clive, for Villa. A lot of attention from United's point of view on Chido-Obi up front, but I don't know how you really account for middle to front or all that they've got to offer, except reminding everybody before they go out there, you might have a duel to win yourself tonight. And obviously this young man's reputation precedes him. He's getting close attention early on. Long way to go. I guess if you're going to concede early.
Absolutely, there is such a long way to go. He would say that there was some good fortune about the way the chance was conceded, the ball hitting the wall and then falling for Mully, but maybe just a little disappointed in the way that the defenders reacted to the way that Mully got onto it first. They just need to be alive and sharp at the start.
Ball and try to pass, which wasn't really on in the middle of the field there. Gets it back here and sorts it out. Simple. That's his role.
Yeah, he makes Villa tick in the heart of that midfield as the captain.
Rowe, the right back, gives it away. And again it bounces for Manchester United. Villa have gone into their shells just a little bit since scoring.
Yeah, they've just dropped off. They've just really happy to take the lead, but it's just given Manchester United a little bit of impetus in terms of possession of the ball.
Jordan Camerson retreats and Villa get the free kick.
Camerson was outstanding against Arsenal in the quarter-final. Raiding from that right-back position, he got forward at every opportunity. Scored a wonderful goal on the night as well.
Signs that Manchester United are beginning to settle after the early setback here. Villa not quite tidy enough at the moment.
No, just starting to dominate the possession, building.
Last victory in the final in 2020-21 came against Liverpool. Manchester United reclaimed the trophy in 21-22 by beating Nottingham Forest. The two winners since, one of Clive Allen's former clubs, West Ham United, and Manchester City last season. Ruth, the right centre-back, was just a little behind the line of the others there, and that allowed Manchester United to stay onside.
Yeah, just starting to take some control of the game. They've just settled now, United.
Kindly enough for Loba. But no way out suddenly for Villa. Armour to Monroe. Giovanni out to the left side. Conky. Monroe again. Just trying to draw Villa out a little bit.
Yeah, they are, because Villa have become very, very compact, closed up those passing avenues.
Very much to your point there, Clive. There was probably only about, I would say, 20, maybe maximum 25 yards between the back line and the front players for Villa. That's something we see from Villa first team level these days.
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very compact. They keep those distances very, very minimal between players to find it difficult to play through them.
But Manchester United are beginning to play a little bit, so can Villa get their quality footballers on the ball again? Brannigan's brushed off it quite easily. Here's Giovanni. And he switches it out to the right. Camerson has taken up quite a high position as the right back, but there's nobody to bother him. Nicely laid off. Build-up play is good here from Manchester United. Just wonder whether Aston Villa are inviting trouble upon themselves.
Well, they're dropping deeper and deeper, and United are starting to probe and put balls in behind Villa.
Ball under pressure, gave it away. Chidiobi decided he'd take it on himself.
I just got a bit anxious. His first chance, Chidiobi, as the ball's played on the diagonal, he is onside. Biancheri at the back post, chests it down. It's a Fletcher shot that's blocked, but again, Villa can't play out. The pressure's high, they keep it going. United.
I know they're 1-0 up, but to me, they've not really started with the assurance that they did against Plymouth, and maybe just that sense that there is a bit of pressure on the young shoulders tonight. Let's see what the goal scorer could do. Here comes Trayvon Mully again. Cross is very well blocked down there by Armour. Brannigan keeps it simple to Borland, his captain.
Who's happy to keep it, and that's good play. Just a spell of possession for the home side will just settle them down.
Ruth. He got away with it a little bit. Here's Fortes. Trying to trick his way through. Giovanni. For Conky. TJ Carroll came across and took it on the full, but it drops for Manchester United again. And here's Obi. He shrugged off a couple of would-be challengers already. Biancheri keeps it going nicely. Jack Fletcher just took a bit too long, maybe changed his mind there, and now United have to retreat because here comes Cole Brannigan. Brannigan has it again, short to Hemmings. Another real Villa ploy there was the inside run, the underlap, wasn't it, as they went down the right side. Trayvon Mully came inside to support Brannigan, not outside.
Brannigan coming off the flank, and he makes that, as you say, underlapping run, which just asks questions of the Manchester United defence again. Fortes late on his challenge on Camerson, on the challenge on that left-hand side. But Villa just having that threat. They've got that confidence on the counter where they're very swift, they're quick, and certainly with Brannigan and Kocher on that front line, They know that they have some pace that can unsettle United.
Murdoch to Monroe. Camason. Armour. To Devaney. Now Jack Fletcher. That's a pretty good takedown by Tyler Fletcher, but he's still got a lot to do.
Goal kick, goal kick, goal kick.
Yeah, Ruther Cross just seeing that ball over the byline for a Villa goal kick.
Tyler Fletcher has weighed in with 4 goals on this cup run, and well, of course, in terms of goal scoring, Manchester United have been prolific. 18 over the 4 ties.
Yeah, Paul, even at this early stage, I would predict that you would be surprised if Villa can win this game without conceding. I think the 1-0 advantage is a good start, but we know of the strength, capabilities and the threat that Manchester United have, that as they've shown in this campaign so far.
Tyler Fletcher reverses it to Monroe. They're dominating proceedings here, really, Manchester United, despite the story of the scoreline, which of course is paramount. But they're winning the free kicks as well. That's gone again for Fortes again. The youngster Scanlon playing senior international football for Gibraltar only last week in those World Cup qualifiers. What an amazing experience that would have been for him. Devaney. Obi. Fortes tucked in nicely, but can they get going again here, Villa?
Well, they just can't keep possession. When they
No,
break play up,
he couldn't do so.
United are pressing intensely, and Villa have been a bit sloppy with their passing.
Pressure's building and building. Jack Fletcher reverses it. It's all squeezed in front of their penalty box now for Villa. Camason crosses. Proctor had to come for it. Good decision. It whistle had gone well before the ball goes in the net there. That was a good decision by Proctor, wasn't it?
Yeah, he comes and claims, and he's challenged by Bianchieri. It drops for Chido-Obi to put into the back and out. I think he actually pushes Carroll into the goalkeeper. We'll see it as the right wing cross comes in. He's onside, there's no offside, but that challenge there was the one that was penalised before Chido-Obi hooked the ball into the open net. Good decision from the referee.
As an absolute top line goal scorer yourself, you spotted Obi actually putting the ball in the net, getting the feel for it.
Absolutely, Paul. Right place, right time, sensing that the goalkeeper might drop it. It wasn't a big call from the referee, but it was the correct one.
TJ Carroll won't be rushed in any sense, having collided with his goalkeeper in that
he
fashion.
does collide with the goalkeeper, you're right.
So time for Lawrence to bring the Manchester United players across for a little assessment of how they've done so far. See Phil Jones on the bench tonight, actually, for Manchester United among the other staff.
They're always trying to keep those young, enthusiastic heads calm, because they've gone behind. All of a sudden, there's that adrenaline rush. They want to try and get back in the game as soon as possible. And the physio's making sure there's no concussion, and the protocol will be followed. It is the goalkeeper that he clashes with, Carroll, before he hits the deck.
He had to come for it though, Proctor, didn't he?
Absolutely. Adam Lawrence won't panic because he knows that his side are more than capable of scoring goals at this level.
You were remarking actually, Clive, to me, compared to your own days in youth football, how many games these young players are now asked to play at the big clubs. They're in 3 and 4 trophies every season now, aren't they? There's obviously the under-18 Premier League, which is their bread and butter. There's the Premier League's own cup competition. Manchester United were knocked out by West Ham, one of your former clubs, actually, on penalties in the quarter-final of that one. And in Villa's case, a European campaign on the top of everything.
Absolutely, and also these young players are going across different age groups as well, so there's so many games that they can be involved in. The sports scientists now obviously monitor their game time extremely closely to make sure that obviously they don't go into what's known as the red zone, where they're dangerous to pick up injuries, but it can be demanding for these young players. But I can assure you, Paul, they want to play in every one, they want to play in every game, and they certainly want to play in the FA Youth Cup.
Manchester United are playing pretty well so far in terms of build-up play, just looking for that cutting edge. Referee completely unmoved by that.
Well, he goes to ground, and he must have been caught. I always look at it because as a centre forward, you wouldn't go to ground if you can sense that you've got a chance to shoot and score. He's onside as the ball's played in. There's the touch out of his feet, and then he goes down. I'm not so sure that first touch was particularly good to give him a chance. Yeah, that's getting away from him. He's felt some contact, gone down. Referee immediately waved it away.
There's lots of ways to win a football match, and in terms of the development of young players, how precious it would be for Aston Villa, Clive, to somehow grind it out here against Manchester United, if that's the way it's shaping up. But it's a completely different character to their performance tonight so far. It was so easy on the eye against Plymouth.
Yeah, they
in
were
the last round.
They were so in command, wasn't they, Paul? Dominated possession, chance after chance. Plymouth certainly defended resiliently, but this is a completely different proposition, Manchester United tonight.
They're grinding away at the moment, but it is Manchester United making steady progress. Camerson, Devaney, dominant in possession terms, certainly Manchester United.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that, quite honestly.
No, Devaney's taking control in that central midfield position for Manchester United. Everything that they produce comes through him again in control.
Good forward run again. And it might yet come for Manchester United. It does. They've levelled it. The pressure tells. They're back on level terms.
Maybe not, Paul.
Many Manchester United fans inside Villa Park tonight, and they're all celebrating. So we're just waiting to confirm that this is going to count. What an excellent run forward it was from Tyler Fletcher. And Scanlon, who took charge of it. Yes, Chidiobi went for it. Scanlon comes onto it and drills it into the net. Surely nothing wrong with his movement.
Nothing wrong with the goal. That header there was a disappointing one from the Villa skipper. But Scanlon, when the ball pops out in front of him, he just lashes that right foot volley into the back of the net. Game all square.
So that does shake up Aston Villa. James Scanlon, and what a few days in his young football career. Twice playing in a World Cup qualifier for Gibraltar, and then back to club duty, scoring at Aston Villa's ground, Villa Park, in the FA Youth Cup semi-final.
Paul, doesn't get any better than that, does it? Playing in a World Cup qualifiers and then back to the FA Youth Cup and scores the equaliser in the semi-final.
Fortes. Now Villa have got to come out and start playing again, and now they do so. Hemmings is really good at picking up spare ball on the edge of the box, but they shut the door on him here, United. Just a bit hot for Bianchieri.
Well, I just think the pressure and the way Manchester United reacted to going behind has been really positive, and they've deserved to get themselves level. Real test now for Villa. Can they work their way back into the game, having some possession of the ball? Are Manchester United going to keep that pressure on? Villa have found it difficult to play out and keep possession of the ball for any period of time. Here comes the pressure again. It's that man Davani again. Yeah. He leads that press. He drives his team on.
Very fired up, isn't he?
And that won't be the first challenge like that he makes this evening, I can assure you.
If James Shan is a bit perplexed at the moment, I do understand why, because this Aston Villa side, again I say it, love to move the ball around. Very, very capable footballers with the ball at their feet. We're not seeing it at the moment.
No, from the perfect start, you can see his body language is a little bit intensified now. He's looking at his team. He knows that they're better than they've shown since that second-minute goal.
Launched by Proctor. Ideal for Monroe that. It's going to elude Brannigan again. Now he gets it. Nice little drop of the shoulder. Drives forward for Villa. This is more promising. Try Van Mully, their goal scorer. Oh, and the number 9, Proctor, was looking for the roll across the face of goal.
Paul, you're absolutely right. He does really well. Brannigan finds Mully. He just has to drill it through the 6-yard box. The weight of pass is good. He eludes the challenge of the fullback. Now, can he find the centre forward at the back post? The all-important final delivery just lets him down.
So Manchester United have to defend for the first time in a while. Out as far as Borland. Whistle's gone.
Captain Davani's got a bloodied nose there from the corner kick, as you can see. He's going to be all right, Paul. There's no way that bloody nose is going to stop him in an FA Youth Cup semi-final. It's actually the shot that comes in that smashes him in the face. Villa captain Borland with a shot, striking United captain full on the nose.
Maybe Brian Robson's his hero.
Quite possibly. Takes it pretty flush on the nose there, does Davani. Good old cotton wool plugs going in.
That has stung Villa into life, I think, conceding the goal, Clive. The mindset seemed to be becoming quite negative.
Well, they just dropped off, didn't they? Immediately they went in front from the Mully strike. They seemed just to drop off and start protecting what they had rather than playing in the manner that he would have wanted. And I have to say, the Manchester United skipper got more and more influential and drove his team forward. They deserved the equaliser.
It's a hard-fought cup tie in a great tradition, just at this level alone, but I'm thinking back to all the Manchester United performances in FA Cup semi-finals at first team level. One in particular stands out here at Villa Park, I'm talking about, when they beat Arsenal here in the early 80s,
Incredible
wasn't it?
Game, yes.
That was in Brian Robson's heyday.
The legendary Ryan Giggs winner.
Yeah, more recently that one. I was going back to Norman Whiteside and co when they beat Arsenal on that occasion as well. The more modern Manchester United, refounded by Sir Alex Ferguson on those principles. and all the flowering of young talent through the 1990s.
Paul, I always remember my own experiences that the one game you never wanted to lose was a semi-final, whether you played well, indifferently, or
Carroll's in trouble.
you played.
Clive Obi's onto him. It's just going to elude Bianchieri, who now tries to rescue the situation. But Manchester United have got a little bit of pace up front in Obi, and that seems to be troubling the Villa centre-backs tonight.
Yeah, I think they're just slightly overpowering Villa at the moment with their physicality. Just the intensity in the way that Manchester United have gone about winning the ball back. They've hurried Villa up. They've not quite been able to deal with that pressure.
No. Going through for Hemmings. Mully's waiting and waiting for it. Borland tries to go the other way. Mully's now saying, just roll it to me. They're looking slightly unnerved, the centre-backs, one way and another. Roth cannot keep it in play.
Yeah, just a couple of his decisions. He's made the wrong decisions, whether it's trying to control it when he's come under pressure or whether you should be clearing it when that pressure comes on.
That's 3 times you've used that word, and I understand why.
Absolutely. And Chido-Obi is leading that press for Manchester United, putting those centre-halves under pressure. Whenever the ball comes into their vicinity, he's on top of the 2 centre-halves immediately.
Obi only turned 17 in late December. Not a bad tally, is it, in this competition this season? 7 in the FA Youth Cup without playing in the quarter-final. Mully's looking a bit of a live wire, and Jack Fletcher was under a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, he turned the wrong way. I don't think he expected Mully to be on his insides. He turned inside. Mully just nicked the ball from him, and he couldn't do anything other than pull him down. You can see that left leg goes out. Mully's tripped. And he is quick, he's sharp on the right side, as we saw in the way he took his goal.
Surely they should just be feeding him tonight.
Well, he certainly seems to carry the biggest threat on that right-hand side for Villa.
So the first yellow of this semi-final goes to Jack Fletcher. Borland must be listening to you. He gives it to Mully. Mully reverses it to Rowe. Brannigan short and gets it back. Kocher's been starved of possession, hasn't he, really, up front tonight so far?
Yeah, he's got into a couple of decent positions, but he just hasn't been served with the ball in the manner that he would want. But as a centre forward playing that role, you just have to keep making those runs. You have to keep getting in now. It might only be once in a number of times that your teammates feed you.
Borland. Most certainly not a shaken Villa up conceding a goal like that. Waters makes a little darting run right into the Manchester United penalty box. He's gone over. It's not a penalty.
Oh, he's furious. It really was a positive run from Fortes coming off that left-hand side.
Camerson's caught in possession. Suddenly Aston Villa really are back at it here. Hemmings, he does run so well with the ball.
Much better from Villa. Positive, started by the fullback. Now, was he clipped, Fortes, when he got into that penalty box? Drives into the box. As the captain comes across, a little bit of a shove. Didn't play the ball. That's a foul for me. No attempt to play the ball from Devaney. Certainly looked to push Fortes to the floor.
This is more like the Aston Villa that their fans would have turned up at Villa Park hoping to see from the off tonight.
Paul, and I think this is more like the type of game that we was expecting. 2 teams really going for each other.
Kocher.
He catches the goalkeeper there.
And harrying Murdoch. I'm putting the polite version of it out there. Devaney. Tried to play it up the side for Robbie to try and turn.
He thought he was pushed as he was receiving or taking possession of the ball.
There's one back for the Villa centre-backs.
Yeah, Carroll was close at hand to stop him controlling it.
Learning so much about the mental side of the game, aren't they, playing in games like this, these young footballers, Clive? Suddenly the minds of the Villa players seems to have cleared somewhat.
Yeah, they've just gained a little bit of confidence, and they're playing at a tempo which suits them and shows the quality that they have. But so many mood swings in a game like this, the magnitude of the game, so many factors coming into play.
Lovely little ball inside there by Trayvon Mully, and Hemmings read his intentions. Brannigan has started to get on the ball in the forward areas, and that's a key ingredient for Villa. Given away by Hemmings, wasn't a great pass, quite honestly.
Really sloppy.
Very well won by Tyler Fletcher, and he used it simply and well. And here's OB reversing it to Tyler Fletcher. Oh, great idea. Bancheri cannot get to it. Proctor drops on it, the goalkeeper.
It was a fabulous idea, but it was just slightly overhit into Bancheri's pass. The keeper, you've got to say, Proctor made sure that he was off of his line, out of his 6-yard box. Good starting position from the goalkeeper to come and claim the through pass. But game opening up now.
Hemmings. Brannigan. He gets to it. Hemmings joining in on the edge of the box. Jimo Loba going to get penalised here, I think.
This is it was a poor Hemmings pass to start with. They picked it up. Fletcher carries it forward. I thought Obi might have fed it to Scanlon on the right, but then when he returns it to Fletcher, that first time pass was clever. Look at the keeper, how sharp he is leaving his 6-yard box.
Camason. Back to Monroe. Skips away from the first would-be challenge. Kocher, but now Manchester United have got to get back. Aston Villa outnumbering them, and it's Kocher. This time it's a penalty. Going down at the feet of Jamal Loba.
And the referee's right, Paul. It was a really poor Davani pass to give possession and away initially. That's a poor pass which Jamal Abba picks up, then he runs in behind the United captain. The keeper's committed. He throws himself at the feet of Aloba and he just toes it by him, and that is a penalty kick, a clear one, pointed to the spot by the referee immediately. Well, they've punished a mistake from the Manchester United captain and a great opportunity for Villa to take the lead.
The opportunity nonetheless for William Murdoch to make amends. The goalkeeper.
It looked like Kocher, the top scorer, was going to take it, but he has maybe just handed this over to his captain.
It is to be Aidan Borland. Aston Villa seeking to restore their lead. Borland has missed it, and missed it by quite some way.
Well, the most disappointing thing whenever you take a penalty kick is missing the target, and that really was a big opportunity for the Villa captain. He opens up, keeper goes the wrong way, and he just completely opens up and slices it way, way wide. I asked the question right this minute, why is Kocher, your top goal scorer, not taking that penalty kick? He handed it to the captain, whether the captain demanded that of him. But I think that is a big, big moment in this semi-final.
If so, a hard lesson learned.
It really is a fabulous contest unfolding in front of us. Game swinging one way then the other. Two really good teams going for it. Devaney got away with it because the Manchester United captain's pass was a poor one that was nearly punished and should have been punished with a penalty kick.
Clive Borland is not a goal-scoring midfield player. I guess the reason why he decided that he fancied the job was that he did score a penalty against Barcelona in the UEFA Youth League game.
Well, the way Kocher handed him the ball, I would say that he is designated to take the penalty kick. But it was a poor one.
Here is the goal scorer for Villa, Trayvon Mully, who's been really bright in this first half. Rowe.
Again, just a sloppy pass from Rowe when he needs to feed that into Kocher's feet.
Here's the most relieved young man in Villa Park at the
Absolutely.
moment, the goalkeeper, William Murdoch. Fletcher. Mully again. Bounce for Devaney. Jack Fletcher. Monroe, take your time. You can hear the Manchester United bench encouraging Manchester United to keep rolling the ball around as they're doing.
Yeah, just keep possession of the ball.
Camason made steady headway on that right side. Doesn't look, I was about to say, sometimes I've seen him think twice about taking an opponent on, but Manchester United have won the ball back. No way through for Devaney.
Yeah, Manchester United captain winning the ball back once again, not for the first time in his first half.
He's the second most relieved man in Villa Park at the moment,
Absolutely,
isn't he?
he is.
Because it was his mistake giving the ball away. Unlike him, I know.
But what I can assure you, Paul, it won't deter him. He'll still go about the game in exactly the same manner.
It's a nice little shift by Kukonki. He's done well. Now Biancheri. Manchester United moving well again here.
Poor cross, really poor cross, because the opportunity was really well created for Biancheri on that left to deliver. And he's fired that cross in with pace, no direction, really poor delivery. They're the moments that become very, very frustrating for the coaches, because you're pleased with the build-up, the work, and the quality to get you into the situation for the opportunity to present itself. But the final pass lets them down. We saw it with Mali on that right side. Should have found Kocher at the back post or put the ball through the 6-yard box. Exactly the same there for United. Biancheri, great opportunity to try to find Obi in that central position. Really wild cross.
It's not all been about Chidi Obi for Manchester United up front this season. Biancheri has scored 9 in the Under-18 Premier League, 3 in the Premier League Cup, and 3 on this Youth Cup run. Here's the goal scorer of the night, Scanlon, short to his fullback. Again, he doesn't want to take a player on, does he? Smashes it at Fortes, and he doesn't get anything here.
Yeah, that's becoming quite a battle. Fortes and the raiding Kamson from that right back position. But
you've coached so many teams at this age group level, Clive. Would you be saying to your fullback sometimes you've got to be ready to take the risk of losing the ball? Take your man on.
Absolutely, especially when you have someone with his pace and the quality that he possesses. He should be and been given license and confidence to take the fullback on. He's stopping and he's trying to cross that one with a fullback in front of him.
Yeah, Kerry did well. Kukonki's not hanging around, is he? Trying to support the front men at every opportunity. Well played, Armour. He read that really well there, Armour.
Well, game even as we approach the half-time mark. I think the evidence of the ebb and flow of the game right from the early stages probably is a fair result at this point.
It might be quite a bit of additional time, actually, given the stoppage earlier. Here's Obi running into the Villa box and then out again. Rolls it to the side to Tyler Fletcher, off the post, so unlucky. And again, Biancheri couldn't get any touch on it as it came back off the post in his direction.
He actually run past the ball, but it was a really good United move. And Obi he does well because he picks out Tyler Fletcher. He takes a touch, sets himself, fires it through legs. It's beaten the keeper, comes off the post.
How good was that first touch by Tyler Fletcher?
Excellent, because the first touch gave him the opportunity with his second to strike across the keeper. Really nicely taken.
He's stealing a bit of Jack's thunder, isn't he? Jack's supposedly the playmaker in this side. So we've still got a bit to go in this half, and here is Bianchieri. Luck out so far tonight, tries the optimistic one, blocked down by Carroll. Tidied up by Brannigan. Monroe has actually won a free kick there against Jimo Aloba. Camason it was. Monroe gets it going again. And here he is again, Reece Monroe. Tyler Fletcher. Cat and mouse. Back to that again.
It's a strange game. It has periods where the intensity and tempo is very quick, then it slows right down. Villa, invariably that's when Villa drop off and just allow you United possession here, but stay very, very compact defensively.
Armour, again, in his own good time. Tyler Fletcher to his brother, Jack. Wouldn't it be great if they played together in the first team one day? Villa nick it back. Now United have a bit more cover this time and win it back a bit better.
Yeah, and Kocher just didn't deal with the ball quickly enough as it broke to him. As United were just out of shape for a second, but they didn't capitalise, Villa.
Divani did do well there.
He is so important for United defensively, Paul, because centre-halves will just move out with the ball, but he just drops and becomes that defensive screen, holding his position centrally, Divani.
Again, smart build-up play, but in the art of beating his opponent, it's not happened tonight for Camason.
There he is again, he's across and he fouls Aloba.
This time it is a yellow, so that's the second Manchester United player on a yellow card now.
And he can have no excuses, he's late with a challenge. Well, as he did in the quarter-final, picked up a yellow against Arsenal. He's done it again this evening in the semi-final.
Proctor. To Rowe. Carroll. Rowe won't get that one. Oh, he gets a little bit of a hand in terms of the touch from Goalkeeper. Borland. Back again to Proctor, who generally has not been in much of a rush so far tonight. Now he goes long, and that is sailing out of play. Quite a few issues to address at half-time, I should think.
Clipboards at the ready for the coaches, I'm sure. It is difficult because there's probably so much information that they want the young players to take on board. Sometimes you have to keep it very, very simple, very clear. Again, just trying to calm them down because there is so much adrenaline flowing in these young players.
Camarson's fouled. Polite inquiry from the Manchester United bench there about Fortes. He didn't kick it away, but he nudged it away. Tyler Fletcher's been excellent in this first half. Here's Devaney.
Who's been combative, as we know.
Square by Armour. To Monroe. Devaney. Listening out for that half-time whistle from what we see here, Aston Villa.
Yeah, United just ball retention from them. Villa quite happy to leave them with the ball in their own half.
Armour. Straight forward for Rowe, but he pounces on anything loose, Kukonki, and he is a powerful runner. Obi. Ended up in the Holt end again.
Yeah, very speculative from Obi. He hasn't had any chances, really clear-cut chances. And Kukonki feeds him. And he's just got one thing on his mind there, and that was to get the shot away. Scanlon was certainly the better option on the right-hand side. I know how he feels, Paul. I've been there before. Very limited opportunity. He's been fed by the fullback running forward, and as soon as he receives it, all he's thinking about is, can I just manipulate the ball to give myself a chance to shoot?
So the half-time whistle does come, and we are on level terms. What a flying start for Villa. Try Van Mully, who was so lively early on, reacting brilliantly as a free kick bounced in his direction, but Manchester United really got going after that, and James Scanlon converted a loose ball in the Villa box during a period when Manchester United were well on top. Villa came alive, they earned a penalty. Aidan Borland won't look back on that moment with any pleasure, I'm afraid. He missed by quite a way, and this tie is set to go again under the lights. What a glorious setting in one of the great cathedrals of English football. In every era, but in the modern era, it is such an imposing venue and so inspirational, surely, for all the young players of Aston Villa and Manchester United to be featuring a game of this importance. James Scanlon for Manchester United, levelling after Villa got away to a flyer through Try Van Mully. It's 1-1 at half-time. Villa have missed a penalty. Manchester United have played very well and hit the post and have come close on several other occasions. But that man in shot there has not had many touches, their top scorer, Mason Kocher. And he's going to keep us all waiting just a little bit longer. Here we go.
Well, Paul, I thought we all felt it was going to be a really interesting, close FA Youth Cup tie, and it certainly hasn't disappointed. All to play for both sets of players. Big prize, an FA Youth Cup final at stake.
A curiously timid showing for a cup tie on their home pitch in large parts of that first half from Aston Villa. More to come in terms of the talent of players like this one. Jamil Dean Jimo Aloba. That's a good start to this half for him, and for Kocher, a chance comes at last.
Yeah, first chance for Kocher. Lets it come across his body, trying to drive it back across the face of the goal with his left boot. Nicely fed, opens up. One intention is to try to score. Slight touch, corner kick.
Player on keeper, yeah.
Cole Brannigan to take it. He's got George Hemmings out there for company at the moment. Mully reverses it to Brannigan. Manchester United seeking to break, and very nearly did so there. Nearly broke kindly for Jake Fletcher. Mully.
Forte's a little fortunate there, Paul. A bit sloppy with his intended pass wide, which Fletcher nearly got onto.
Leon Roth. And alongside him he has TJ Carroll, the two centre-backs. Right-footed, left-footed pairing there. And here's the right back, Tristan Rowe. Goes for a charge down the right. We've not seen that an awful lot. He's got away from Bianchieri very well indeed. Travelled with it well there. Brannigan to Borland. Good pass by him. And here's Rowe into the box. Great ball in, and it was superbly tipped over the top by Murdoch as Kocher closed in to try to put Villa back in front.
Well, he should have scored, Kocher. He's appreciating the cross from his fullback, who stayed forward after that rampaging run. He's onside. He rolls it across. Maybe Kocher was offside, but the flag didn't go up. He needs to bury that into the back of the net. He opens up. It's a sensational save. It really is.
All Villa gets a corner, but what can they do with it? It's out as far as Brannigan. Reverses it to Mully. That's a good looking ball. Borland said to leave it, he got it. And he crosses it, the Villa skipper. Still the Villa pressure. Mully again. Brannigan bounced his way once but not twice, and now Manchester United will seek to break. It's a great ball inside. Again by Fletcher. And Scanlon is offside.
Just an opportunity there from the Fletcher ball into Obi, which was brilliantly played. The options, there's two wide on the left, and Scanlon shouldn't be running into that offside position there. Looking across the line, keeping himself, the wider he keeps himself, the more option he gives for Obi to fire that ball into the run.
Carroll. This is a bit more like it from Aston Villa. Clyde,
it's a bright start to the second half. I'm sure there was some strong words in that Villa half-time team talk, because they haven't played in a manner that he would have liked in that first half. Much better at the start of the second.
That's some real positive forward passes from Borland, as that's been a factor. And in the same theme there, Jamal Loba trying to turn Manchester United around. It was all so timid. Mully is just caught in two minds there as to whether he's onside or not.
Well, yeah, it's a difficult one, but he should have just controlled the ball. If the flag goes up, then obviously he's offside. But yeah, it's much brighter from Villa, much more positive at the beginning of this second half.
Murdoch, great save by him.
Super save, it really was.
Kept in play by Tyler Fletcher. Chidi Obi. Oh, he does do that well. Mully on the stretch did equally well. Looked like he could be outnumbered on that far side by Jack Fletcher.
Yes, an important toe from Mully. Fletcher looks as if he's just going to toe the ball past him and take it away from him. Mully comes to the rescue of his team there.
Kokonki has come forward at every opportunity from left back tonight. That was one of the changes, incidentally, by Adam Lawrence, if you went with us pre-game, from the team which won away to Arsenal in that 3-2 quarter-final. What a ding-dong affair that was. In tonight for Harry Amas. Borland. Hemmings. Well played by Armour. It's up tempo now, isn't it? Both ways.
Yeah, from both sides.
Camason. Devaney. Out to Scanlon. And reverses it to Devaney. Nice idea, not quite. As he tried to just give the little pass to Camason. Monroe, dominant against Kocher. Devaney. On by Scanlon. Manchester United driving Villa back again now. Camason crosses. Oh, brilliant, Johnny Obi. But it's straight at the goalkeeper, Proctor, and he drops on it so well there, Proctor.
And the initial save is a good one. I think it takes a slight deflection as Chobi Obi strikes the ball. Camason cross, it pops back for him, set nicely, and in the end the goalkeeper, from not only making the stop, drops on it really smartly.
He looks a very gifted, natural athlete, Proctor, doesn't he? The way he comes off his line, Clive, he means business when he does it, and his reactions are razor sharp there.
Yeah, really athletic.
And Villa with Mully driving forward again now. He goes down, he's not getting anything. Brannigan went down in sympathy with him.
Paul, that was Devaney, and that was again, he's been yellow carded, and he definitely catches Mully for me.
Steers it to safety back to Devaney. Now they're both really at it. Tyler Fletcher.
Well, completely different tempo to that of the first half.
Jack Fletcher takes over. All left-footed. Free kick. Foul by Borland.
Yeah, Fletcher carrying the ball and drawing the challenge, just towing it away from Borland. The Villa captain picks up a yellow card for that challenge.
First of the night for Villa. Mixed bag, really, I'm afraid, so far, but he'll keep going, we know that.
Yeah, so far not a night to remember for the Villa captain, apart from his free kick strike. Whether that can be deemed an assist for the opening goal, I'm not sure. But
nice try, Clive.
but other than that, he's not had the best of nights. Missed penalty and a yellow card now.
From a similar position, this free kick to the one which led to Villa's goal. That was slightly to the right of where that ball is set up.
Oh, it's left-footed Fletcher and right-footed Scanlon that's on it.
Proctor on guard, the goalkeeper. Jack Fletcher.
Way wide. He pulls across it. Proctor didn't even have to take a step to the left. You can see a couple of little shuffles from the keeper, but he knows that's well wide.
Briskly down the other end to Murdoch. The pace is much, much higher here in the second half. Steered backward by Ruth to Proctor. Yankieri, OB. Couldn't get away from Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll having to slide in and concede the corner.
There's a bit of movement on the Manchester United bench at the moment.
Well, Devaney's walking a tightrope, Paul. He's
Yes.
been booked. He's had a couple of challenges which have been questionable in terms of picking a second yellow up.
And Zach Baumann is going to replace him with quite a lot of the 90 minutes still to go. Baumann came on as a substitute against Coventry in the tie play before Christmas.
Well, I think that definitely that's a tactical substitution to make sure that they don't go down to 10 men. They felt that he was maybe just a little bit fortunate with the challenge on Mully.
Proctor again is the master in the air, isn't he? Quick release, trying to... Oh, he's dropped it brilliantly for Brannigan there. But Brannigan is ushered off the ball.
Yeah, Tyler Fletcher doing that tidying up role now. He's probably going to be the one holding central position that Devaney was playing.
Kukonki. Kukonki, Clive, looks to me like a player who could play in a few different positions, actually. Which
yeah, he came on against Arsenal in left-sided central position.
Scanlon made a good run.
As he is tonight.
Links with OB, who lets go. That's three well wide from him tonight.
Yeah,
already.
I can understand why he's taking on the shot, but there's another option again. Scanlon earlier he could have found, and this time look at Camerson on this right-hand side. He's joining, he's in acres of space. But this young man knows where the back of the net is at the moment. He hasn't really had what I would call a clear-cut chance.
Leon Ruth. Not seen a lot of that from Villa, lofting it up there. They don't really have that kind of player, do they?
Well,
Juma Aloba, he's a player who likes to glide around with the ball, a bit like Hemmings.
Yeah, and maybe drop a little bit deeper. Koch is not the atypical target man as a centre forward either. They need to build through the lines. They need to get it into players' feet.
Bauman. Edwin Kokonki. Kiani gets a free kick.
Yeah, close attentions of Rowe, really trying to deny Banchieri that chance just to spin away from him and make progress.
Much more energy from Villa, though. They're not allowing Manchester United easy passage, easy possession. Here's Scanlon. Somebody just said don't foul, and I'm afraid Kocher wasn't listening.
Yeah. Forwards challenge coming back. You can see overstretching for the tackle. Nowhere near playing the ball. Concedes the free kick.
I don't know whether it's an inspiration to young footballers or quite an intimidation, but when you look at a club like Manchester United, you could go through each and every number on a jersey. Here comes Proctor again, does well again. Momentary concern. Again, he's taking out his own players. Carol, he's quite ruthless, is Proctor.
Well, when the goalkeeper comes through it, you want him to get a touch or certainly contact on the ball, and he does. But also, his follow-through carries him into Carroll, who's taken a couple of blows from his keeper this evening.
He has. Might have something to say after it. Hopefully all is well for him. I was about to say, you could go through a Manchester United team, Clive, and number by number go through all the great players who weren't. For example, I was just in that moment thinking about Scanlon. The number 7s. The number 8s, the number, etc.
Oh, they're endless, the incredible United young players who have come through and worn those numbers. Beckham, for example.
And number 17 is going to be introduced for Manchester United in a moment. That will be Bendito Montato.
One of the best goals, 8. Homegrown.
Camerson. Scanlon reverses it to his right back. Tyler Fletcher. Scanlon with room. Proctor again.
His father was pretty good as well. Sir Alex earmarked him as a 14-year-old. He was training with the first team as a 14, 15-year-old. I remember working with the England youth squad. We played Scotland, and he was starring for Scotland's under-18s at 15 was their father. And you've got to say Sir Alex knew a player or two, especially young ones.
Oh, absolutely. Brannigan. Borland.
Nice one too. Chance for the captain. Pulling across the shot. Maybe just got caught after he struck the attempt. 1-2 with Brannigan.
Not been his night, I'm afraid. Gabi Bianchieri makes way. So Mantato scored against Arsenal.
The winner.
Go and do it again for us.
Yeah, that might well have been the message from the coach as he leaves the dugout.
That's a giveaway. Quickly back in play by Fortes. That was smart. And here goes Proctor into the box. That was another terrific bit of work for me by Tyler Fletcher. Baumann. Economy of movement he's got there, Fletcher, as well. Now, Scanlon has switched over to the other flank for the moment at least. And here's Obi trying to barrel his way through the middle. That doesn't work out. Here come Villa again. Rowe is starting to cut loose from right back. That's nicely played. Jamo Aloba. On he goes. And on. Great stop again by Murdoch. And it's over the top again. The shooting has been a little bit wayward tonight from Villa, but driving into the penalty box, Jamo Aloba carving out the chance here.
Well, he comes across field into the central position, tries to create the angle. The only thing I would say is at a good height for the goalkeeper to save it. If he drills that along the floor, I think he's going to find it difficult to keep out. But once again, it's a smart save from the United keeper. One from Kocha and now one from Jamo Alobi.
Bar the penalty incident, both goalkeepers are having a good night so far. Murdoch got the reprieve, of course, when Borland missed the target. Armour up to Obi. Wealth is not going to let him have an easy run here. He's all over him. Well played, referee. Advantage.
Yeah, good advantage.
Camason. Villa have to regroup. Camason goes on. Baumann takes over. Back where we started with the Manchester United right back. He crosses now, and that's not one that the goalkeeper would dare to come for. Mully did well. And then he spoiled it. Scanlon is onto him. OB.
That was poor. That really was from OB, because Camerson was in a good supporting position once again. Just needed that quality weight of pass, and he's in maybe with a touch and a chance to strike. A really sloppy OB pass.
Kocha. Some goal scorers, and who better than you to ask this question of, Clive? Some goal scorers can have a very quiet night, bit of an off night, and retain total belief that a chance is going to come and they're going to take it.
Oh, Paul, that's what you have to do. You have to believe that that opportunity is going to present itself, and just keep getting in the right place at the right time. And Obi, as we know, has scored 7 goals so far in the tournament. He'll still be believing.
Tyler Fletcher. Been fairly frantic tempo for a lot of this second half. Just a little breathing space now, understandably. And one or two wayward passes take the pressure off Villa. That was never reaching Baumann. And again, Carroll got away with that.
Yeah, so many times the team plays a part in those little mistakes that can be so costly.
Baumann, lots of room for him. He picks out Mantato. Nice change of gear by him. Manchester United building the pressure. Can Villa get out? No, Koch has lost the ball. Mantato again. On the field to do exactly that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been positive
Take
since
people
being
on.
introduced on that right-hand side. Well, game almost come to walking pace after the explosive start to the second half.
Baumann. United accept the corner. Bounced off Roth, out of play. But all the play suddenly coming in Villa's direction again. Fortes has just got a little bit of a problem here as well.
Yeah, and I just wonder if Manchester United's physicality is just going to start to work in their favour in the later stages of this second half.
Out the back door it goes, but Proctor's after it again. Doing enough to put his opponent under pressure. His Armour trying to backpedal.
Well, he might have a problem here, whether it's a pulled calf or maybe cramp. Proctor, you can see as he comes to the deep corner kick, doesn't quite get there, but just does enough to put Armour off that back post. Oh, they wouldn't be wanting to lose him now, not at this stage of the game.
But on the other hand, Clive, I know it's still a long way off, but the possibility of a penalty shootout, you need a fit goalkeeper, don't you?
Well, Samoto is the reserve goalkeeper for Villa. Yeah, looks to be some concern. Maybe it is just cramp, taking on fluids.
Oh dear.
Message going back. I wonder if the referee's saying you're going to have to take him off. He can't sit there for too long.
Looks like a reset anyway. Teddy Bloomfield is coming on, number 18. Sorry, Lord, the first one is. The other player set to come on now is Alfie Linsky. And that is it tonight for Cole Brannigan.
Yeah, quite night for Brannigan. And Fortes, who
double substitution for Aston
pointed
Villa,
out Paul might well have taken a knock. He's been
will you please welcome number 16
replaced.
Alfie Linsky and number 18 Teddy Bloomfield.
Teddy Bloomfield. Well, Fortes for injury, there's no doubt about that. Brannigan tactical because of a lack of impact in this semi-final tonight.
Bloomfield actually replaced Fortes in the Plymouth quarter-final.
Second substitution for Manchester United, replacing number 10, Jack Fletcher, will be number 14, Jimmy Thwaites.
Now Jimmy Thwaites has come on for Jack Fletcher at this juncture for Manchester United.
Yeah, quiet night for Manchester United's number 10. Jack Fletcher tonight. Certainly not as influential as he was against Arsenal in the quarter-final victory.
Thwaites gets the ball at his feet immediately. Shape of Carroll in front of him here. Quality first touch that by Jimo Aloba, who's come out of his shell a little bit second half, but still a sense that there's more to come from him.
Yeah, it's just really been the final pass, the final contribution from him, which has been lacking. At times, you're right, he just pops up in good positions between lines, receives the ball, needs to be fed with the ball first, but Villa have found him far more often in this second period.
Scanlon stopped in his tracks. Gets on with it immediately.
Yeah, Hemmings with the challenge on Scanlon. Well, a number of substitutions, game's got a bit disjointed. We'll settle back down again as we go into the final 15 minutes or so.
I know it's all about the glory of winning a cup, a famous cup in this case, the FA Youth Cup, but there's a lot of games still to be played. Aston Villa, for example. Clive, they resume their league programme on the 5th of April against Fulham. They play 3 games in that week alone in the league competition.
Yeah,
so they're going to need all the numbers that they can keep fit.
Absolutely. Always a very intense period going towards Easter, especially if they're in a number of competitions as well.
Linsky on the slide. Into Scanlon. That's a fairly rapid yellow card, isn't it?
I think he's only been on the field 2 minutes. I don't think he's touched the ball. And yeah, it's a poor challenge. Jumping into that challenge. Linsky.
So Borland is captain, and now Linsky for Villa on yellow. Bit of a reset all round after such a frantic period in this second half. The changes, 1 or 2 injury interruptions. Let's see who can win the last 15 minutes, and if you win it, you're going to go through to the final.
Absolutely.
It's like those games that coaches play, isn't it, Clive? You stop and say, right, we're going to have a scenario here, 15 minutes to go, we need 2 goals, that kind of thing.
Well, you need your substitutes to make an impact, to make an impression.
Good first pass by Fletcher again. Baumann cuts in. It lifts onto the top of the roof. Now, wasn't there a deflection on that? It looked to me like there was.
I think Carroll gets his head on it. I really do. Baumann gets himself to the corner of the box, comes back inside, trying to wind it in. And yeah, it's Carroll that just top heads it away for the corner kick. I think the goalkeeper, Proctor, behind him has got it covered.
Now let's see if he's as keen to come off his line, given that he's had a little doubt over the injury. That won't test him either way.
No, that's a really poor corner. At this stage of the game, you've seen the goalkeeper go down. You know he's not 100% fit.
Drop it in there, ask her the question.
Absolutely, put it in underneath the crossbar, not onto the roof of the net. But it is always easier sitting here, Paul.
Of course.
But they're the types of things that really frustrate coaches, because you worked on a set piece, a corner kick, you've got players going into positions, expecting a delivery into a certain area, and then it just doesn't happen.
TJ Carroll launches one. Armour headed it well. Nice touch by Hemmings to Borland. Bit of room now for Linsky. Mully. Back to his right back, and infield now to Borland. Hemmings again. Out to Bloomfield. Bloomfield made a lot of headway against Plymouth, just driving on from left back. Out the other side, they've got a bit of an overload here. Mully reverses it for Villa. Linsky crosses it. Murdoch easily grabs that one.
Yeah, it's a poor cross in the end from Linsky. He just almost scoops it up into the 6-yard box. That needs to be whipped with pace to deny the goalkeeper the chance to come and claim it cleanly in the way that he did. It's a looping ball, he comes and claims it easily, does the goalkeeper, Murdoch.
Murdoch has been on the first team bench not so long ago, actually, in the FA Cup tie against Fulham for the senior team.
Well, he's made a couple of fine stops. He looks really accomplished, confident in his own 6-yard box.
Linsky turned. Wanted to do it in his own good time. Languid style, socks down around the ankles. Anybody who reminds you of who's played here in recent years?
Not really. Might have been £100 million when he left, but I can't remember his name.
I know, and it's unfair because it'll be bracketed up, won't it? Somewhere the commentator compared him to Grealish. Don't.
You did.
Yes, it was me. It's on me. Couldn't resist it. But what I find so interesting watching youth team football like this all around the world, Clive, is clubs do match what's at first team level, don't they? And Manchester City in recent years in the FA Cup, the best example you could ever wish for. They had mini Gundogan, mini John Stones.
Well, absolutely. If there's
in every
a style
position
and a way of play that you want to develop your youngsters in, you can see the resemblances to the first team players.
But of course, making the big step is much, much harder. Rico Lewis has done it. Every day it gets harder. Here's Ruth trying to make something happen for Villa. On and on he went. I think Villa going to get the call here.
Well, great determination from Ruth. Thought he might have won a corner, but in the end, Manchester United just thwart that threat. Comes out, it's a Villa throw-in.
Jamal Loba straight at Murdoch. Now, does he go for a quick release here? It's short. Tyler Fletcher. Monroe.
Paul, I just wonder, both centre forwards, both goal scorers for the respective teams have had very few chances. Proctor probably the better of the clear-cut opportunities. I just wonder if one falls to either of them, that they could well be the match winner here tonight. Is that close?
Camason. Beaten a couple already, used it nicely on the end. Scanlon went inside, the space was on the outside. Kokonki's in that space, he crosses, deflected, cleared by Hemmings. Tyler Fletcher, he's got that lovely knack of being in the right place, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's taken the role of Devaney and he's played it really well. He's disciplined, as you say, he's in the right place at the right time. When the ball comes into the area, he's played it really well.
Scanlon, not bad. Bauman needs to cut inside, does do so, deflected. What a save, what an adjustment by Proctor, brilliant.
That is an unbelievable stop, because Bauman's attempt is deflected and it's deflected wickedly, and the way that Proctor reacts is superb. He's going to his right, watch the way he flings that left arm out and hooks it out. That is a superb save from the Villa keeper.
Manchester United are coming close. We're into the last 10 of the 90. And, frame of the goal.
Obi header that hits the post.
For once, Proctor looking less than assured, and it went right over the head of Teddy Bloomfield. And here come Villa down the other end immediately. And Mully almost set it up for Linsky. Kocher. Bloomfield again to Kocher. There was a little glimmer of space to have a shot, perhaps, but it rather sums his night up that he's now on the deck.
He's gone down and he stayed down, Kocher.
Linsky did well. Gets it back to Rowe. Borland did well. Can he get driving in? Yes, he can. Here comes Tristan Rowe. It's been a feature of this second half, his runs from right back. just to extend the parallels, a la Matty Cash, I guess. Anyway, ended up giving the ball back to Fletcher.
Yeah, too many white shirts around him in the end.
Scanlon. Does he look a bit more comfortable on the left flank to you, Scanlon?
Yeah, he's been very prominent from that left side, Scanlon.
And here's the players come on the right side, and of course they've reversed the roles, haven't they? Because Montato's a left footer, as he's demonstrating here, and he cuts in from the other flank.
Yeah. Lopsided wingers. Left footer on the right, right footer on the left now for Manchester United.
Villa breaking again. Kocher called off the chase there.
Yeah, he's frustrated, but it's good defending.
He's not moving well, Kocher. Another change upcoming for Villa. Looks like Ashton McWilliams.
Well, two sets of weary players on the field now.
Already, Clive, with potential extra time to come.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, when it gets to these stages, it is the mistake through fatigue that can be very, very costly. I always like it when it's won with a little bit of magic, something very, very special, but invariably it can be the most innocuous mistake that is so costly.
Fletcher out to Scanlon. Monroe. Matato reverses it to Monroe. On by Fletcher. For Conke. They can bide their time here, Manchester United.
Yeah, they're just trying to create an opening. Before they just tried to penetrate this Villa defence.
Camason. There he goes. Really did drive for the line there. That's more what United were looking for from him in the first half, really.
Yeah, but Hemmings does really well. He senses a danger, and again, he's just protecting that central area, not allowing the ball to go through there from the Camason cross, concedes the corner.
Outswinger to the edge of the box. Clear by Mully. But it's Manchester United who have the ball back again with Baumann. Monroe. Tyler Fletcher. Reverses it to Baumann again. Camason. Took a long time over the cross.
Yeah, I just think it's taking too long, and Obi is a target in there. Why not just try to whip one in with a bit of pace that he might be able to attack?
Fletcher again. Camason. He's getting the hang of this now, isn't he? Driving for the line.
Yeah, but that's a couple of occasions, Paul, where he's tried to drill that cross in rather than just lifting it into the back post area.
Now? Baumann's going to have a go. Cuts across it. So now Aston Villa respond with two changes in one, and Trayvon Mully goes off.
Double substitution for Aston Villa
comes on, and I think that it's going to be time now for Mason Kocher. Yes, he is not moving freely, so he's not going to add to his tally tonight, at least in this FA Youth Cup. Their leading scorer is replaced by Keelan Quinn. And still some concern about the goalkeeper here.
Yeah, certainly looks like that left calf is still troubling him. Wonderful left-handed save though from the deflected shot. Chance for the coaches just to keep those spirits high, keep that belief up while Proctor receives treatment.
Had a good night in so many ways so far. Proctor, here's one of the best moments of it. Baumann cuts inside onto the left peg. And he has to adjust because there's a deflection on this which would have wrong-footed many a young goalkeeper, but not him.
Yeah, and he's actually moving to his right-hand side. So to throw that left hand out and change his direction and keep the ball out, that was the really impressive thing about it. Such a strong left hand which kept Baumann's deflected shot out of the back of the net. Well, Villa coach made 4 changes now. Adam Lawrence, the United coach, just the 3. Sure, both of them are already thinking about the possibility of extra time and what options they still have left. Or is it going to be a late winner?
Armour to Kokonki. No time to start trying to dribble past people in that position. Borland. Have Aston Villa got another chance in them? Rowe. Williams allowed to go on. That is easy for Murdoch. It's a bit old-fashioned to say this, but we haven't seen some real good crossing in this game very much, have we?
No, quality of the crossing has been poor. It really has. It's the decision and the nature and the type of cross that you're trying to put in there. The decisions have been poor when they've had some good opportunities. Plenty of time for a winner.
Plenty of time. Borland to Rowe. Rolls it on. And McWilliams also keeps it simple, but Villa not keeping the ball.
Oh, there's a number of players cramping up.
There's another.
Tyler Fletcher, the Manchester United midfielder, did. Then Villa have now lost a player to cramp.
Yeah, I think it's Rowe. That's a foul by Bloomfield. And it's a yellow card.
And rightly so.
For Bloomfield.
And Tato just drags the ball down the touchline. Bloomfield just steps across and blocks him. Thwaite's taking his free kick now. Now, can he deliver a free kick with some quality?
Might be a little lap of honour at the end of the season if Manchester United progress in recognition of getting to the final. And I know many many fans of these two great clubs are watching with us tonight, even if they're not in the stadium here. No way of knowing who is going to be celebrating just yet, but as Clive has said, there's still plenty to go if we go to extra time, and people are in danger of running out of substitutes. That's the two coaches, I mean. I know how important this game is, but you can't be losing a player for the rest of the season with a bad hamstring injury if you can avoid it, surely, Clive?
No, absolutely not.
And that is Hemmings.
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
Hamstring at this stage of the game. I think that might be the end of him. Villa a man light.
We're going to consider the options. Jimmy Thwaites is going to take this free kick for Manchester United. Have they got a hero here? Oh, it's a great ball, and it's wide. What a chance! Munro came onto it.
Oh, he should have scored, and it was a free kick of quality to give Munro the opportunity. Proctor came, he was getting nowhere near it. The way he winds this ball back towards the penalty spot. And Munro just has to get it on target, help it on its way on the target.
Clive, we always speak about players, the modern inheritors of what the greats of yesteryear have done, but that was a bit like David Beckham crossing for Steve Bruce, wasn't it? Not quite the same outcome.
Yeah, wonderful trajectory, the way he whips through it. He's tempting the goalkeeper to come and get it, and he gets nowhere near it.
Max Jenner replaces the unfortunate Hemmings. Jamaloba gives chase and gets on it well. Can he be a hero? He tried to give it short and inside to Jenner, who's only just come on the field, of course. Villa might get a second bite at it.
Great shout from the goalkeeper there. Oh, he's going to be in trouble here. Chido-Obi.
Taken exception to the challenge on him. It's been played in such good part. That's not in keeping with what we've seen here tonight. I know they both want it very badly, but the clubs need a full complement of players, don't they?
Well, it's Chido-Obi and Carroll who got tangled up. Carroll comes over the top of him, lands on him. Obi didn't like it. Well, Carroll's getting booked. I think Chido-Obi will be booked as well.
Indeed so. Borland takes the free kick. Just a little help on its way from Baumann. Montato. Manchester United have got a bit in reserve, incidentally, at this stage. Might be a bit fresher for what's yet to come.
Well, Quinn gets a yellow card now.
Make that yellow number 5 for Villa.
Yeah, it's positive from Montato. He draws the challenge. Quinn gets caught on the wrong side. Right hand on the left shoulder. Clips his ankles as well. Well, Thwaites' last free kick was a decent one. Now, will he shoot or will he cross?
Proctor soldiers on with that injury. Is Thwaites going to test him? Arm in the air again. Floaty ball. Proctor, no problem at all claiming that.
I'm guessing Proctor wants extra time. He's quite happy to lay on the ball, let the clock run down.
Obi is told by
to go and
the
press
coach,
the ball,
yeah.
I think.
Try and force a mistake. No free kick for Villa. Jimo Loba went over. Rowe trying to run again. Flag's gone up.
Villa throw. Maybe one last chance.
Maybe one last chance, Clive, yes. Borland.
Well, two sets of players totally committed right to the end of normal time.
That's not bad from Carroll. Oh, they've got a corner out of it, Villa. Out of play by Armour. The goalkeeper wanted to come and claim that, I think.
Yeah, and Armour took no chances. He just made sure that he cleared his lines, but he's given Villa one last chance from this corner.
Now then, in truth, pretty much throughout tonight, the service hasn't been good enough. But is this the moment to get it right? Carroll doesn't get off the ground, but he's going to accept another corner, and he knows he's got to get on with it. Out of play off Tyler Fletcher.
Yeah, Tyler Fletcher really tired. He's been limping for a few minutes, Tyler Fletcher, but make sure he gets his head to it, but concedes probably the last kick of the game.
Jimo Alobe standing in Murdoch's way. Borland takes it. Goalkeeper backpedaling, grabs it very well indeed.
Yeah.
Now, is there a break on here for Manchester United, I wonder? There might be. A well-played Borland, he was awake. Manchester United get another go. Obi forces a throw. Camerson back inside. Still we play on. Going to be 100 minutes very quickly. Baumann. Fletcher. Kokonki out to Scanlon. Fletcher again. Munro. Manchester United have been very patient in this passage of play. Mantato decides to go on the outside, no way through. Goal kick.
Yeah, good defending from Bloomfield in the end. Must be time now.
It is time. It's ended, but it's only about to begin. And there's a lot of very tired players. Aston Villa have made a lot of changes already. Manchester United have a few up their sleeve, and maybe yet will be required. And the hope is that Villa don't suffer even more injury. It has ended all square. Manchester United, perhaps with the team with more intent and more pressure in the second half, but Aston Villa have really stood up to it very well indeed. Played much better for a lot of the second half than in the first, surely. And there's no knowing even now how this one will play out. But what we do know is it's extra time, and then potentially a penalty shootout to follow. But 1-1 at the end of regulation time. So a moment to rest and reflect ahead of the restart. This is where the night got underway with a terrific opportunist finish from Trayvon Mully from Aston Villa to put the home side in front.
Well, you can look at the joy on the young Villa faces. They can't quite believe the most perfect of starts. Deflected free kick, Mully was on hand to put them in front.
Manchester United really did get going and played some splendid stuff in the first half. The pressure built and built on Villa, and eventually the equaliser forced home by James Scanlon. They were queuing up to finish it off.
Yeah, I thought Borland could have done better with the header there, but Fletcher keeps it alive, and then Scanlon's on hand to fire the game level.
A real let-off for Manchester United. It was given away by Devaney into the box. William Murdoch, the Manchester United goalkeeper, going down at the feet of Jamaldin Oloba. Certain penalty.
Yeah, no doubt. And up stepped the Villa captain, but unfortunately fired it very, very high and wide.
Borland, who'd scored from the spot against Barcelona not very long ago. Second half, Manchester United with most of the pressure, and a really outstanding performance all night long so far from Sam Proctor, the Villa goalkeeper, denying Baumann. It was deflected, he adjusted and he kept it out. So they've given us plenty. The endeavour has been unstinting. Some quality spells of play from both sides, but they've got to find a bit more now.
Paul, just looking at the two sets of players there, the Manchester United boys are on their feet. They're all listening to the coach. The Villa boys look very, very tired. A number of them laid out on the floor. Yes, physio's giving them massage, certainly trying to get some fluids into them. But for me, it just looks like the Manchester United group are a little bit stronger. Maybe just have that little bit of an edge going into this extra time period.
Villa grateful to their goalkeeper Sam Proctor for two reasons. He made a lot of very good saves, and grateful that he is going to soldier on from the look of it for the moment. Manchester United, I mentioned, had a couple of changes in hand, and it now looks like they are going to play that hand. Samuel Lusale is coming on for Manchester United. Here he is. And it looks like Godwill Kukonki will make way. That is confirmed.
Substitution for Manchester United, replaced number 5, Godwill Kukonki, replaced by number 16, Samuel Lusale.
Lusale came on as a substitute against Arsenal in the quarter-final. So, we get going again. Extra time at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Manchester United, as per the thrilling victory over Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium in the quarter-final, extended into extra time. They came through in that case, perhaps believing that they could do so again tonight. Aston Villa, an improved level of performance, perhaps, Clive, in the second half. And
I just wonder what toll that's taken, Paul.
Exactly.
They came out at the start.
Can
of the
they keep
second
it
half.
going?
They were very, very intense with the way that they closed, and it just seems to be showing the signs of the fatigue in the later stages of normal time. Now going into extra time, I just feel Manchester United have the slight advantage.
Tyler Fletcher. Here's Lusale. Cleared by Carroll. The game rather ended with Manchester United setting up camp in this fashion and Aston Villa drawing up their defensive lines in this fashion.
Yeah, and I always feel when a team are really tired, fatigued, that they try to just compensate by staying very, very close, compact drop-off, just trying to frustrate the opposition who want to keep possession of the ball, which they allow them to do as long as they can't penetrate and get in behind this Villa team. Even to the point sometimes, Paul, where I think coaches are quite happy for their team to go to penalty kicks. Don't think that they can win it in extra time and are actually playing for those penalty kicks.
Tyler Fletcher hasn't done that very often tonight, been so tidy. Even the substitutes are struggling here.
Well,
Teddy Bloomfield.
After the challenge he had on Matata late in the game, he hobbled away from that as they went to the break before extra time started.
Rowe. Armour's there. Williams trying to help his fullback out, and Rowe's allowed to go on. And here goes Mac Williams. Gets away from Montato. Montato had a little bite at him. Oh, Mac Williams has done brilliantly. And how well did Reece Monroe do in the middle?
Well, he did fantastically well. Did the ball go out on the touchline, though? Manchester United would have been asking if that had ended up in the back of their net.
Normally, when you say something like that, it's because you suspect that it did, but
that's
okay,
really
wasn't
well
it?
Down the byline. And then Monroe, as you rightly said, Paul, was in a very, very good position to cut out the cross.
He's got a good attitude, Monroe. He just keeps going and going, Clive, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's really steady.
That's the word I was searching for. Unspectacular, but perhaps reliable.
Paul, looking at it, he could have well scored the winner. The headed
Exactly.
attempt just wide of the goal.
Thomason has won the free kick.
This is also a really big test for these young players. They wouldn't have gone into this sort of area in terms of their physicality, mentality, and the way that they have to keep going, really have to dig deep and believe that they can come up with something in this, what is a mammoth game in their careers.
Monroe. Baumann reverses it to Fletcher. Montato now on the left, and it looks like they've put James Scanlon back over on the right side.
Yeah, they've switched them again, so they've got the left-footed winger Montato on the left now, and Scanlon right-footed out on the right side.
Scanlon is very good at creeping into dangerous areas. Reversed by Lusale. Now Scanlon, conveniently enough or otherwise, has come out to the left again. So it's like they're trying to double up on that side.
Well, I think he's been detailed to go and play closer to Joby Obi.
Yes, maybe.
Rather than go out to the right. It looks like the substitute has just been introduced as playing out.
Musale's out on the right flank.
The right side now.
Scanlon might be a player to keep an eye on here. She only has that little knack, and you're quite right. It looks like he's been told to play off Chido Obi.
Yeah, tried to get close to the centre forward.
What I like about this Manchester United side, though, is they've tried a few different things in this game, haven't they, tactically? Here's Comerson, who's done well. All the way through, and wide again from Chido Obi. He was shut down.
Well, it was half a chance. It was the fullback that did really well down the right side. Comerson gets forward, avoids the challenge of Bloomfield, and then as it bobbles through that 6-yard box, Obi just can't wrap his foot round it, turn it in on target.
Well played Rowe for Villa, by the way.
Yeah, I think he might have got a block on that. You see Obi appeal for a corner kick. Maybe he just deflected that wide, although the goal kick was given.
We questioned whether Villa could keep going, just sitting in as they did for so much of the first half. This extra time first half is a bit like this at the moment, and here's Jenner breaking free to try to change the plot a little bit. The crossing we have spoken about already tonight, not good enough.
Well, I think that is an attempted cross, and he just completely slices it. And Murdoch untroubled in the United goal.
That was a present. And Linsky's onto it for Villa. Thomason gets back goal side, but I'm not sure he needed to do that. Quick restart. Borland for Villa. Can they build any pressure? Quinn. And again. Out near side to McWilliams.
Well, I have to say that there's no easy way to finish these games, but for me, as I talk about these young players who have to go into this area, uncharted territory really for a lot of them. Very rarely, if ever, will they have been playing in a game of this magnitude going into extra time so fatigued. I have to say, I think, and I would like the game to go straight to extra time at the end of normal time.
You mean to penalties, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, penalty kicks. Because very rarely is there a clear-cut chance made. They're so tired, it's very, very difficult. And as I've said before, invariably it's a mistake that is so costly, which is not a pleasant way to finish an FA Youth Cup tie semi-final.
Here's Carroll. Linsky. Now there's a potential 2-on-1 on this side. Rowe instead puts his foot on it. Scanlon did well to drop back in there to help. Roth. Bloomfield. Just got to keep an eye on any lingering injury doubt about him.
You can see players stretching because they're fatigued. The whole tempo of the game has just dropped, almost walking pace now.
Jenner's a good looking footballer, that stylish left foot. Here's Carroll. his best to shuffle after it. Picked up by Rowe. Borland. Thwaites shut him down. Chido trying to put the hurry up on the goalkeeper Proctor. Villa keep the ball. Villa get a free kick. I think he wanted to actually play it quick on there, Linsky, but thought better of it.
He's done well a couple of times,
Yeah,
just protecting the ball and drawing the free kicks. Monroe all over the back of him, pushing him to the ground.
Here is Quinn. Borland. Now maybe something for Villa. McWilliams. Into the box he goes. He's done well. Oh, what a miss. A great opportunity. It comes the way of Jenna.
Well, McWilliams done brilliantly, really did. Got in behind down the right-hand side. And then when he cuts back, I wondered whether he was going to attempt a shot. Is he offside? No, I think the centre-half, Monroe's playing him on in the middle. When he cuts back, just thought he might try and shoot at that near post, but has the awareness to roll it brilliantly for Jenna. And he will be having nightmares about that one. He really will. What a chance. What a moment.
What a let-off for Manchester United.
Absolutely.
And a reminder that if Aston Villa have got more in the tank, maybe in the second period of extra time, they have got the players, even with all these changes, to go and make something happen. Who can make something happen now for Manchester United after all their changes?
Well, and Paul, that chance has come about because of two substitutes who have combined.
Looks like they might be ready to go and make another change now.
Yeah, Fletcher, who's been limping for quite a while.
He's getting a very big round of applause here tonight, and well deserved. A very fine young footballer.
Substitution for Manchester United, replaced number 8, Tyler Fletcher.
Ibrahimov comes on.
Ibrahimov.
And another reshape tactically, from the look of it, for Manchester United. I give credit to United for that, trying things, Clive.
Yeah, they've been flexible.
Well played, Murdoch.
Yeah, sweeper keeper leaving his box, making sure he cleared well, back in his two centre-halves up the goalkeeper.
Good first pass from Bloomfield, and here come Villa again. Murdoch. It's stuck eventually from Linsky.
Yeah, Linsky in acres of space, gets it out of his feet, drives to the edge of the box. It's a pretty tame shot straight at the goalkeeper.
Just as well it did stick, though. Ibrahimov, incidentally, has done it before off the bench. Slightly different circumstances, I have to add that, but he's come on as a substitute in every one of the cup ties. Scored against Preston.
Yeah, and Bauman's now been detailed to just play that central holding role that Devaney has, that Tyler Fletcher has, and he's now reverted back to that central midfield position.
Just reverting to your previous question, what would you say if I told you it's a 10-minute extra time, 10 minutes each way rather than 15? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
A kind of compromise?
It's just what the players can contribute at this stage, physically, mentally. They're just absolutely exhausted, and you can see that in the tempo and the nature of the game.
Kusale doing his best to make something happen. Well played, Bloomfield, incidentally.
Well, he's soldiering on, his Bloomfield.
And Villa win the ball back. Jamoa Loba. He's all alone at the moment. Manchester United are getting back goal side quicker than Villa can join in. Has he got any magic of his own? He reverses it. And Murdoch gets across to make the save. Quinn had the hit.
Yeah, another chance falling to a Aston Villa substitute. Quinn this time tries to wind that left boot through it. But again, Murdoch is in a good position.
A minimum of 1 minute at a time. Minimum 1 minute at a time.
Well, the minute added on has to be for the substitution. There's been no other breaks in the game.
Musale. No way through for Obi. A man light just at this moment now. I think it was Linsky who went down. He's back on his feet. Tomasov with the ball tied to his feet, and Linsky has now given away a free kick.
Yeah, and he's remonstrating because he felt that he was fouled just a few seconds ago. He's got himself back up. Now he's clipped the heels of Camerson. That is a really poor challenge. A really dangerous position for United, right on the stroke of half-time of extra time. Thwaites is back out there again, taking a free kick. The last one he delivered from that angle was a good one.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's see if the arm goes in the air again. No, he just gets on with it this time. Deflected, worked out okay for Villa, and now it is half-time in extra time. And a chance again to refuel and refresh as quickly as they can and help those who need it.
And there's quite a few that need help, there really is.
I mentioned Phil Jones on duty along with Adam Lawrence tonight.
Villa captain hobbling away.
He's really given it absolutely everything and a little bit more, Aidan Borland.
A late night for all the young
I was going to
supporters
say,
as well.
it's not Easter holidays yet, is it? I guess training schedules for the week have to be ripped up after a night like this, don't they?
Wow, there'll be recuperation for the next 2 or 3 days. Very, very little work done.
Really is a busy month ahead for Aston Villa into April, regardless of the outcome of this one. They've got those fixtures to catch up on in terms of their league, which is very, very important if you're James Shan. They've got a total of 5 games in hand in their Premier League South League, and they're 8 points behind Southampton at this moment.
Yeah, but might well be calling on some of the talented younger players within
Maybe,
the club.
yes.
17s and 16s will be promoted up.
Just on terms of the schedule, though, they've got 7 league games in the month of April to play. Manchester United aren't quite so far behind in terms of their schedule. They've got a bit more breathing space between fixtures during April.
The crowd are playing their part. They're trying to lift the villains. They really are.
There's always a special feeling. It's a brilliant club, isn't it? They really get behind their team. And Manchester United, of course, being Manchester United, they're very well supported here tonight also, as you can hear now. Right, so it is the second period of extra time. And if we do not have a goal either way to decide this, then it will be a penalty shootout. Given the ball back immediately, Villa, Carroll into touch.
Well, I think that was just a clear indication that Carroll was going to take absolutely no chances whatsoever.
Scanlon.
His goalkeeper's had a fabulous night, but he's aware that he's just not quite 100% fit.
That is a free kick on the edge of the box, as the latest of the Manchester United substitutes, Ibrahimov, just changed the pace well here.
He's done well. He's drawn the challenge from Ruth. He really has. Twisting, turning with a little bit of pace that he's brought into the game off that substitutes bench has won Manchester United a really, really good free kick. And Thwaites is there again.
He must fancy this, Clive.
Well, we saw the way that he wound that free kick in from the right-hand side. There's no doubt that he fancies this from this distance. Can we say he's got a Beckham haircut? Can he finish it off like David
Can he bend
Beckham?
it like you-know-who? We're about to find out. Baumann on the other side of the ball nearest. It's wide. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he's going to the goalkeeper's side. He's trying to whip that ball, but whipping the ball up and over the wall, making the goalkeeper move to his right-hand side, tried to cover the open side of the goal. And the most important thing, as always, is get it on target.
Little help on from Jamo Aloba.
Tell you what's not going to be fair, Paul, if it goes to penalty kicks. The two goalkeepers have had outstanding evenings, they really have. Yes, they've been beaten once each, but through no fault of their own. And one of them's going to be on the losing side come the end of this evening. One of them's going to be a hero.
Baumann.
If it goes that far.
To Thwaites. Lusale, and Aston Villa drop into that pattern that they really do seem to know so well, where they defend their penalty box. More precisely, they defend the edge of their penalty box.
Yeah, they do. Very, very compact. You can see there's been a lot of work done on the training field.
Absolutely, and with all the changes, Clive, it's very impressive that every player comes on and knows exactly what's required of them.
Absolutely.
Manchester United have tried different approaches to attacking, which is in their great tradition, of course. Playing that way is what has earned them love and affection all around the world, in every generation. These young players are doing their very best to live up to that tonight, the way they have played. Once or twice for Villa, Linsky has shown a lot of intelligence going forward. Drawn a few fouls, tries to get something here. Don't think that's going to work out.
No, just want to throw in for his team.
Bloomfield goes back. All the way back to Proctor. Carroll doing his best to get in Obi's way. That's a decent one over the top the other way. Cross ball over the head of Jamo Aloba. I've said it a few times tonight, it's probably boring to people. The crossing's not been good enough.
No, too many times. Good crossing opportunities, not been executed.
And it was a very good run by McWilliams. That makes it more frustrating. You've done the hardest part in some ways.
Well, he's got himself the chance to cross it. It is all about the execution.
Tristan Rowe. Let's see what he can produce. Reversed by Jenner. McWilliams halted in his tracks.
can see now that how fatigued the substitutes are as well.
And Tota needs a little bit of help. Thwaites provides it. And now McWilliams for Rowe. Camason. Baumann. Just about kept in play by Lusale, but it is Villa who get it. Bloomfield is as game as they come, isn't he? Bloomfield.
Oh, he's done really well there.
Coolly done by Munro. Baumann, nicely done. Lusale has a little bit of space to get his head up. Can he cross? I'm afraid it's the same complaint from the commentator on repeat. A lot of good work undone by that.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing was that Toby Obi was nowhere near attacking the space, the 6-yard box. It was Scanlon at the back post that was trying to occupy that space, but once again, poor cross.
Is that the third time Proctor's needed treatment?
It is, yes, unfortunately. Again, that left calf seems to be the problem.
So we picked out just one among so many. Are you telling us, Clive, that it's not necessarily always the fault of the player crossing the ball?
Well, I'm disappointed that Toby Obi's not right in the middle, attacking the space, and I would say a line between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. If you imagine a line through there, I'd want my centre forward making sure they cover that area when any crosses go into there.
Scanlon actually did his very best to make up the ground. He's gone over for a little word in the ear from Lawrence. Maybe they see him even now, James Scanlon, as a potential match winner.
I do think even if I'm standing in that technical area, I'm thinking I just want to get to penalty kicks. I've got more chance at penalty kicks than the next 7 or 8 minutes that we're going to face, with someone making a dreadful mistake because of the condition they're in.
Villa get us going again.
He's battled on the Villa captain, he really has.
He may yet get a penalty opportunity to rectify matters
He
from
might
earlier.
well have to take another penalty, yeah. Maybe a real test of his character if it does go to that, Paul.
Munro returns it. Well read by Rolf. Munro's head. Thwaites. Camason. Lusale. Bachmann. Armour. So right into the very last stages of this football match, we're seeing a pattern that we've seen for a lot of the night here, with Manchester United trying to break down an Aston Villa side which sets up in a way to say to the opposition, come and break us down if you can. And they're full of belief, even these young Villa players, that they can put up the defensive shutters. They came out of their shell for about 20 minutes at the start of the second half, played the way we've seen them earlier in the competition. They're very good at doing that. But there is an art to winning football matches, I guess. Rather than giving the opposition an easy ride.
Yeah, there's different ways, Paul. Many ways to win football matches, and they have defended well against the Manchester United side. We have to say and reiterate, have scored numerous goals in this campaign.
They've
so
scored
far.
19 in this competition alone this season, but only one tonight. It's been really a case study in the mentality behind both clubs. Big picture for me, Clive. Aston Villa played the same way but changed the people doing it. Manchester United have brought on players and tried to play different ways tonight at times in this game.
Yeah, they've been the more flexible of the two teams, but without finding the way to break down this Villa defence.
Baumann, that's nice. Ibrahimov did well again, but so did Proctor.
Well, I think the boos are coming from the Manchester United supporters, but you can understand Proctor just buying some time, taking a breather.
Of course, had Lusal been able to take him out of the play with the cross, it might have been a different story. Thinking back to the one I picked on previously, I think I was probably being a little harsh on him. You're quite right, it wasn't that bad a cross that time.
No, and it's for the strikers and Scanlon and Obi on that occasion to actually attack the areas where the cross went into.
Bloomfield up against Lusali this time. Lusali thought he was on his way.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit unfortunate there to be penalised, Lusali. Bloomfield is protecting the ball. He's fortunate.
Obi, nicely played to Scanlon. Could he be the match winner? Scanlon made some space. Might need a second bite at it. Gives it to Ibrahimov. The way did open up for a moment. Ibrahimov crosses and it is straight at the Aston Villa goalkeeper,
who falls to the ground and he's looking up at the clock. There's absolutely no doubt about that for me now.
His biggest moment might still be to come tonight.
You're right. Nice
win in the air by Jimo Aloba again. Is there anything for Villa here? A superb piece of work. But now even Munro, mighty Munro, has gone over and he looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, he's holding that left hamstring now. Brilliantly timed sliding tackle. He had to get it right and he did.
Hasn't he done well tonight, Munro?
He's been fantastic.
He looks like a footballer with a bit of personality, and I mean the use of the term actually comes from the Ajax Academy, as I'm sure you know, Clive.
Absolutely.
They actually mean something. It's not just thrown around as a phrase, oh, he's a bit of a character. They don't mean that. They mean he has got presence on the field.
Well, that should be it, Paul.
Munro goes again. Can Scanlon get on the end of it? Yes, he did. One additional minute. Manchester United are giving the ball away, and then Aston Villa give the ball away in return, and Borland has gone down injured. The ways open up for United. It was a mazy dribble which had Villa backpedaling and in trouble from Mantato, but nothing on the end of it. Musale now.
Mantato scored the winner against Arsenal in the quarter-final. Why did he not have a shot? Great run, chance to shoot from the edge of the box, and then he tried to pass it.
Scanlon to Bachmann. It's out of play. Ibrahimov cannot climb high enough, understandably.
Well, Paul, you talk about that personality and character. The coaches now are going to have a list of penalty takers ready, and you ask those young men if they are able and confident enough to step up, and that's where the personality comes to the fore now.
So we must have a winner, and there's only one way to find a winner now. We have played 90 minutes plus in the game proper, 2 periods of extra time with no further breakthrough, and it all ends for the moment all square. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 1, and we'll know who's going through to the final of the FA Youth Cup when we bring you the shootout. Both have had very good nights, the two goalkeepers. And as you pointed out, there are a few secrets. They've probably done their homework in terms of who Proctor will be facing.
Yeah, and Proctor's writing it down on his water bottle. He goes left, he goes right. That's how detailed it is, Paul. That's the information that the goalkeepers will carry now.
Manchester United did lose a shootout in the Premier League Cup quarter-final against West Ham. Just checking through the list of the takers on that night. I'd make it there's only one who participated, who's out on the field and available at this moment, and that is Jimmy Thwaites. 2 Manchester United players missed, actually. They lost 5-4 to West Ham overall in the shootout.
Sometimes, Paul, it's as easy as the coach just saying to you, do you want to take one? And it's a yes or a no. If there's any hesitation, I think you don't take one.
You'd have been at the front of the queue anyway, I know that.
Yeah, I'd always step up to take a penalty kick, however the game had gone.
So, Reece Monroe took over captain's duties when Jacob Devaney went off for Manchester United. I think he's shown us where he'd prefer to take him, away from the Holt end.
Yeah, he's pointed to the end where there's a few Manchester United supporters.
As Paul just said, we're second. Body language, do you believe all that? Because you've said it already tonight about who looks slightly the more vibrant group.
Yeah, I thought United were looking that way going into the extra time, but at the end of it, I think both teams nullified each other. There wasn't the energy from either set of players to actually win it within the allotted time. And it's going to come down to these two characters, and they have been excellent. Proctor of Villa and Murdoch of United.
Looks like Jimmy Thwaites has volunteered to go first for Manchester United. He's shown that he is a very good striker of the ball.
I do believe this is the moment. You don't change your mind. You almost, unless you're you're skilled enough to stutter and wait for the goalkeeper to go. You choose your side, you strike it cleanly, and invariably if you do that, you beat the keeper. It's that hesitation, it's the change of mind, or it's a slight miss hit, which can be so costly.
Sam Proctor, excellent all night long for Aston Villa. Up against Thwaites. Proctor strikes again.
What a save, what a save. He goes the right way at full stretch, fingertips it onto the post.
Thwaites, who actually scored in the Premier League Cup quarter-final shootout, denied here tonight at Villa Park. William Murdoch has also had an excellent night, barring the one penalty he gave away in open play. First up for Villa is Keelan Quinn. Well played, Villa edge in front.
Yeah, big penalty. Quinn getting Villa underway.
That was somebody who wasn't going to change his mind.
Yeah, nicely done.
James Scanlon, very good footballer, big prospect for Manchester United, goal scorer in this semi-final.
International, full international.
Full international.
He needs all that experience right now, Paul.
Scanlon to level it, which he does.
Yeah,
Didn't
nicely done.
Drill that home, for the goal. The way he strikes the ball is very impressive.
Yeah, looked very confident.
The longer it went, the more it seemed like Jimo Oloba could have a big bearing on it, but now he must have a bearing on it. Jimo Oloba. Oh, that's not a penalty, anybody would say. That was into the side netting, you heard it ripple.
Yeah, beautifully struck, great direction into the corner. Might have even just kissed the inside of the post as it went in.
Maybe, yes. Very, very well played. Villa back in front. Not been on very long, Amir Ibrahimov.
Well, he looks confident. He's smiling at Proctor. Proctor's trying to talk him out of it. Lots of gamesmanship going on.
The 16-year-old. It's saved by Proctor. It's a second Manchester United miss.
Oh, massive advantage, Aston Villa now. And he waited, Proctor, and he read it. He read the way it was going, and he makes a good stop. Wasn't the cleanest hit penalty.
A very big chance during extra time came and went for Max Jenner. What about from the penalty spot? Here he comes. Oh. That's three of the best from Aston Villa. They're 3-1 up in the shootout now.
Well, it's have to score time now for Manchester United. Cannot afford to miss. I think his chance was easier than that penalty, Paul, but he thundered it in the roof of the net. And that shows some character from Jenner.
Zach Baumann. Proctor. full of self-belief. It's wide. Aston Villa players run away to celebrate. Their goalkeeper wasn't even needed in the decisive moment, but he certainly played a part throughout the night. Aston Villa have won the shootout and won it comfortably. Manchester United missed 3 penalties out of 4, and Aston Villa are into the FA Youth Cup final. A long night, but now the celebrations begin. They've had to dig so very deep, playing through extra time. They've had a lot of games this season, a lot of games still to play, but it's another feel-good moment in what shapes now to be such a good era for Aston Villa at all levels. And so much excitement at every level in the club in the month of April.
Well, is it a forerunner to what the seniors are going to do? They're going to arrive at Wembley in a semi-final, but Baumann pulling this penalty horribly wide. Proctor, for me, the hero of the night for Aston Villa. Not only in the penalty shootout, but during the game, making some crucial saves. And look at the way his teammates absolutely surround him.
And not a sign of cramp.
No, his left calf miraculously was okay for the celebrations.
And the excitement of the moment. They may pay for it later, but they've won it, Aston Villa. Manchester United, magnificent, a free-scoring, goal-scoring machine on their way to the semi-finals, but they could score only once in this tie here at Villa Park tonight. Aston Villa played within themselves, while Adam Lawrence and the Manchester United players tried everything, different combinations up front to try to make it happen. They couldn't quite do so. Aston Villa plugged on to the very end, and now they celebrate. Villa the winners. A 1-1 draw, and Aston Villa through on penalties.